An all-party meeting was convened today by the government ahead of the winter session of the parliament, bringing together leaders from across the political spectrum on the eve of a short but high-stakes session. The meeting held at Parliament House saw the opposition raise a series of issues it intends to pursue in both the houses, including the special intensive revision of electoral rolls, the recent blast in Delhi, and important foreign policy matters as well.
पार्लियामेंट चलने नहीं देंगे, किसी ने नहीं कहा है। वो मुद्दे रखेंगे ये कहा है, लेकिन एक इशू को लेकर के पार्लियामेंट चलने नहीं देंगे अगर कोई कहा है तो गलत बात है। नहीं, प्रोटेस्ट नहीं होगा। प्रोटेस्ट हम नहीं होने के लिए अपील करेंगे। अगर करता है तो देख लेंगे।
Majority portion's view are not being expressed in the floor of the parliament. This is we have said also. We have said that allocate more time for the opposition. If you see that 100%, 70% times are taken by the treasury bench and this government. Question hours to around 0 hours, etc., etc., etc. In a floor of parliament is a floor of the opposition, not of the government, and that is well recognized parliamentary practice over the world. But here we have reduced the time allocation is 30% to the opposition, 70% is the treasury bench.
After the all-party meeting, Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi accused the BJP-led central government of attempting to derail the parliamentary process by curtailing the length of the winter session and scheduling a shorter than usual sitting of the parliament.
आज शीतकालीन सत्र मात्र 19 दिनों के लिए, जिसमें से सिर्फ 15 दिनों के अंदर चर्चा हो सकती है, शायद सबसे छोटा ये शीतकालीन सत्र होगा। और इस शीतकालीन सत्र के आयोजन में देरी भी हुई है और इसीलिए ऐसा लगता है कि सरकार खुद पार्लियामेंट को डिरेल करना चाहती है।
The winter session of the parliament commences on Monday and is scheduled to conclude on the 19th of December. This year the session will have only 15 sittings, a significant reduction from the customary 20 sittings, making it one of the shortest winter sessions in the recent years. We have Arshpreet Kadial, spokesperson of the Congress party, now joining us on the broadcast. We also have Charu Pragya of the BJP, KV Prasad, senior journalist, and Harsh Dahiya, political analyst, all joining us. Thank you all of you for taking time out to be with us. Clearly, Arshpreet, the biggest concern here, even before the session gets underway, is the length of the session.
Definitely. The Bharatiya Janata Party, when it used to be in the opposition, they used to say we should have more sessions, we should have longer sessions, and now that they are in the government, they are having the shortest session vis-a-vis the winter session in the last many years, and the Bharatiya Janata Party ought to tell us, why is it so afraid to have a debate and discussion on SIR?
Okay.
Is there something that the Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to hide? Is that why you do not want to have a debate and discussion on it? Because at the end of the day, the Bharatiya Janata Party should be enthusiastic because it's for the people. It has a massive impact on the people.
Okay.
Or is the Bharatiya Janata Party afraid that we'll ask you a question that the 65 lakh that voted in Bihar Lok Sabha election did not get the chance to vote in the assembly election.
Okay.
And the 21 lakh that did not get a chance to vote in the Lok Sabha election got a chance to vote
Fair
in
enough.
the assembly election.
Let's quickly get to the reaction from the BJP on that. Why? Why? Charu Pragya, is there a fear? Because the issues are clearly on the table. SIR is an issue. The Red Fort blast in Delhi is an issue. When the issues are clear, what is the fear in having a longer session?
Good evening. See, the issue for the opposition changes in every session, but the aim remains the same: disruption. And that is the irony of the statement anybody in the opposition makes today. Because if I go back session by session, Krishna, I assure you, every single session, the opposition has managed disruptions, walkouts, sometimes even downright getting down to violence inside the House. At every single time their aim is one: do not allow the house to function, do not allow policy to be the focus of parliament sessions. They only want to focus on protest, not policy. And how many examples do we need, from CAA to farm laws to Manipur to Delhi violence to Pegasus to, I can go on and on, every single session. So every time they come up with a new reason, this time they're talking about SIR. The very same SIR which they took to court, by the way, the very same SIR that the court upheld to be constitutionally and legally correct. And
Okay.
an SIR which is a constitutional exercise which has happened several times in independent India and many times under the UPA government.
But Charu Pragya, I have to ask you this. Kiren Rijiju today has said that, this will be taken into consideration, the debate will be taken into consideration. So the BJP is clearly willing to discuss the SIR in the winter session. The question the opposition is asking is that why is the session so short this time around? One of the shortest ever.
Krishna, again, this is the thing. If the session is long, they complain about it. If the session is short, they complain about it.
Okay.
The bottom line is that we have shown actually record productivity in the last 10 years in Parliament, despite their disruptions. Even if you look at the budget session, it was 118% productivity in the Lok Sabha, 119 in the Rajya Sabha. The monsoon session, out of the 14 bills tabled, 12 were passed. And every single session, the focus of the government is to get the discussions underway, the debates underway. We are not focused on disruptions. They are most welcome to stay in and talk about an issue, but they are the ones who would rather be standing outside. They're such outstanding.
Point taken. Okay, I need to take it to KV Prasad and Harsh Dahi as well, but quickly, 10 seconds, Ashpreet. 10 seconds.
Thank you. No wonder the Bharatiya Janata Party is reducing the number of days, reducing the sessions in totality. What do we expect from a government which does not do any press conferences? Mr. Modi, in the last 11 years, has done zero press conferences, literally zero. Zero accountability on his part and zero accountability on the part of the government and the parliament also. Zero accountability on part of the government and parliament also. Why less and less accountability? Why less and less transparency? Why less and less debate? Why less and less discussion? Less and less democracy?
Okay.
Does the Bharatiya Janata Party...
Can I respond, please?
Ashpreet, quickly. Charu wants to quick. Charu, I need to really take it to KV Prasad and Harsh Dahi as well, but quickly, Charu, 10 seconds.
30 seconds.
10 seconds.
What's the BJP afraid of?
Ashpreet talks about transparency and accountability today.
What's
everything
the
is
BJP
digitized.
afraid of,
Every single citizen
What's
of
the
this
BJP
country.
afraid of?
On the Ashpreet, there's no point if you're going to be speaking over me. So
I was only questioning what is the BJP afraid of?
I think the Congress only has this one statement: what are you afraid of? May I speak now, please?
Yeah, please
Because
go ahead.
you are.
Quickly. Okay, Ashpreet, one at a time. Quickly. Charu, quickly.
Thank you very much. So if you're talking about accountability and transparency, that has increased at the press of a button. Every single legislative assembly and our parliament are now paperless and digitized. Everything you want to know is there, not just for you, but for every single citizen. And secondly, and very importantly, if they are concerned about the functioning of the parliament, they should also be concerned about how much money they lose, taxpayers' money they lose every time they stage a walkout. The government still manages to function, and that is what I'm trying to focus on.
Okay.
Why is zero press conference by the
KV Prasad, Harsh Dahi, thank you for waiting patiently. KV Prasad, quickly to you. The opposition claims that the government is cutting it short because it doesn't want to answer too many of the questions. But the government is like, we've had the best record when it comes to productivity in parliamentary sessions. Tell us, is a short parliament session meant to be more efficient and not exactly less transparent?
Well, Krishna, just for a preface, I've been covering Parliament for 30 years, so I can bring in a couple of perspectives. Number one, a session's timing is important. The winter session is the most productive session in terms of legislation. Now, unfortunately, in the last 10, 15 years, we are only looking legislation as the productivity.
Okay.
Unlike the debate and discussion on issues of contentious issues which are required to be taken. Now, I might remind, because I have reported Parliament, as I said, in 2012, 2013, the then leaders of opposition in Parliament, Mr. Arun Jaitley, late Mr. Arun Jaitley and late Sushma Swaraj, wrote and argued vehemently as to why disruption is a wonderful way to have their point in Parliament. Now, this is something which is, I have noticed, irrespective of the political party which are in power or which are in governance on the ruling, on the governing coalition or on the opposition, adopt a practice which they abhor when they were in power. When they are, this is something which is distresses
But
person.
KV Prasad, the
who has
question
come
always
again.
is, one is debate, discussion, and the other is, lack of, accomplishing anything, lack of decisions being taken, because that's what Parliament,
No,
gets together for.
okay, Krishna, let me tell you something. The government has the majority and it does legislate. Eventually, we have seen many laws being made in this country in the last 10 years, even when the opposition was absent. So that is, it's no gainsaying. It's a no-brainer. I mean, I can quote 100 instances. The issue is we need the opposition to have the point. Whether you agree or disagree on the floor of the House, it's perfectly valid. I remember a former speaker, Mr. Somnath Chatterjee, once talking to an opposition, and then the BJP was in opposition. He said, just because somebody is saying something you don't and you're listening doesn't mean you have to agree with it. So it's, we have lost the law. I have noticed probably the art of listening to an opposition on a point of view which we don't agree. I mean, it's okay. That's a democratic exercise. You don't have to agree
So
to everything.
in a sense, KV Prasad, you're saying the fact that, a 15-day session is too short.
No, I am not saying it's short or long is what you make of it. What you make of it. I can tell you 100 instances when the parliamentary conferences have actually voted for 100-day session in this country. Way back in 1992, 1993, 94, 95, 96, they said we should have a 100-day session. Governments of the day have the right to decide, unlike other parliaments where we decide. So it's okay. I mean, it's eventually the floor is for the opposition and parliament constitutes both. It's not the opposition, not the government.
Okay, can I please come in quickly?
Okay,
very quickly?
Charu, I need to take you to Harsh Dahiya, but quickly, 10 seconds.
Yes. With all due respect, sir, I think this last 10 years has had historic debates, whether it is abrogation of Article 370, whether it is triple talaq, whether it is GST, every single issue that you will bring up, there have been historic debates. It's not the government's job to make the opposition vote in parliament. They choose not to vote. It is not the government's job to make them vote.
Okay, Harsh Dahiya, there is clearly there's a trust deficit when it comes to the parliament session, isn't it? And you're seeing the ramifications of that right now.
Krishna, the only place where I see a trust deficit is people's trust deficit in the Indian opposition and Congress specifically. Last year when you talk about, winter session being short this year, last year the winter session was of almost 20 days, but there was complete disruption in both the houses by Congress and opposition parties, and the public exchequer, resulted in loss of 90 crores to public exchequer. Who is responsible for that? Who will pay that? Will Congress pay for the lost time and public exchequer money? And this year they are planning to do the same. And very conveniently, my brother Ashpreet kept on changing the goalpost. First, his question was that why is government not having a debate on SIR in the parliament? Now, because the government has responded that they will be debating about the SIR as well. They will take feedback on SIR, how it can be improved. Now he changed his goalpost to, why is Prime Minister not doing any, press conference? And when BJP or any of the leaders would respond to that, they will again very conveniently change the goalpost. And the reason for this whole theatrics is simple. This is nothing but their political frustration and Rahul's effort to hold on to power in Congress. Because after losing 95 elections, he can lose leadership of Congress to now any day.
Ashpreet.
But the funny thing is, not even the BJP would want that. BJP wants him to
If
stay
I
in
may,
power.
if I may
because
now,
he
number
works as
one,
a useful
I
idiot for the
want to
BJP.
now
He
we
works as their,
There has been no debate in this
Ashpreet,
country.
the accusation here from him is that the opposition keeps changing goalposts all the time.
See, number one, maybe my friend did not understand what the opposition is trying to say. It's actually the same goalpost. It's all about accountability. There is no accountability on the part of the Prime Minister because he has done 0 press conferences. And similarly, there is no accountability on the part of the government. There is no part. One thing, I did not interrupt you. If I may kindly complete, Krishna.
argument is that?
Yes,
When
yes.
is press conference about
Krishna, if I may,
accountability?
if I
Prime
Charu,
Minister is constantly in
Charu,
conversation with
you know,
the
we agreed to have one person
Log
speaking
on
at a
to the
time.
NEVA app.
Charu,
Log on to the NEVA app and see what is happening in the country.
if I may, Krishna.
Charu Pragya, we agreed to have one person speak at a time. I will always let you have your say. Just hold on for a second. Ashpreet, please finish your point.
Thank you. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. The Bharatiya Janata Party does not want accountability to be fixed. What they do not want a debate to happen. And similarly, in this debate, they are not letting us even question them. This is what we are talking about. There is intolerance. They do not want to hear the questions. They do not want to debate and discuss. They only want to disrupt. They only want to interrupt. My only question to the Bharatiya Janata Party is, one second, my only question to the BJP government is, what are you trying to hide is what we are asking. Why are you not agreeing to have a debate? What is the problem with having a debate?
Ashpreet, do you even realize
What is the problem with that? One second, in 2003, it was done in the entire country. Why are we not going through the
Okay,
same
Ashpreet, we heard you. Ashpreet, we heard you.
There is an extent. Just one last point, if I may.
Okay.
Charu was saying that there's been a lot of debate and discussion. Taxation laws passed without debate and discussion. Promotion regulation of online gaming bill passed without debate and discussion. Merchant shipping bill passed, Indian ports bill, mines and minerals, and many other bills without any debate and discussion being there. So there is a history, there is a pattern of no debate, no transparency, no accountability. We want to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party government, why are you turning our democracy into dictatorship?
Okay,
Why do you
okay,
not
we
want
heard
to
you.
hear the questions? Opposition is the voice of the people. Hear the questions. And if you do not have the answers to that, say that you do not have an answer.
Let's get an answer.
But do not shy away from a debate and discussion,
Ashpreet,
especially not in this debate.
Here we are having a debate and discussion. We're not shying away from it. Charu Pragya, you have an answer for Ashpreet.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. The government is saying, yes, we will have a discussion on SIR. So what are you crying about? So
when would you have it?
There's no discussion. We
When
tell
would
you
it
that
be
the
done?
discussion, you still keep
When would it be done?
Another thing is that since
Why a
when
15-day session? Why not 20 days?
Ashpreet, this
Why
is
not 20 days session is
I'm
what we are
answering
asking.
your
What is
question.
wrong with 20 days? Why have you reduced the number of days?
Yourself.
Why has the number of days been
have a
reduced?
discussion on SIR. So what
Why
are you
have
talking
the
about?
days been
Krishna,
reduced?
you need to step in, please.
Why have the days
Okay,
been
okay.
reduced?
Goes into a loop
Okay,
without
okay.
listening
Why
to the
has the
statements
day?
of any leader.
Why have the days been reduced?
Can I come in?
Yes, Ashpreet, loud and clear. Charu?
Thank you very much. So point by point, and I will request Ashpreet to please hold his tongue because he goes into this repetitive pattern.
We're just following your
footsteps.
Okay, following your footsteps.
Okay, Ashpreet, let Charu complete a point. Requesting
Ashpreet,
you.
know what? It's not just TV viewers which find this annoying. It is the citizens of this country which finds Congress's stand annoying. That's why they
That's why we say
now
you
allow me to
need
finish.
to introspect. That's why we
This is
say.
the fourth time I'm trying to speak, Krishna. This is not. This is not.
Ashpreet, we've heard you loud and clear. You've listed
He
out.
kept on interrupting me and now does not even want to answer. Why have the days been reduced?
I am answering, Ashpreet. If you'll just hold your tongue. Do you want me to translate?
Okay, Charu, it's fine.
Look at the language.
Charu.
This is what the language is. See, this is the kind of respect and regard.
Okay, Ashpreet.
Heckling is Congress's method of winning hearts and winning
Ashpreet
elections.
and Charu, there's no point in doing this if we can't complete each other's sentences. Charu.
Exactly what I'm saying, Krishna. This is annoying.
Yeah,
this is not
so finish your point, Charu. Let's not get into personal attacks. Charu, just finish your point. Please go ahead. Your turn.
My point. So the first allegation by the Congress is government does not want a debate. Well, the government is inviting a debate. The government is saying we want to have a discussion on SIR. The second thing they raise is they do not hold a press conference. The PM does not hold a press conference. The PM is incredibly accountable because he's the first PM of this country who's directly in conversation with both the media and the citizens of this country. And since when has a press conference become a measure of accountability? Thirdly, you're asking about transparency. Open the NEVA app. The NEVA app has made every single process of every single
one-way communication.
Parliament absolutely.
It's not two-way communication.
And the fourth allegation, Krishna, if I may answer that, they are saying that bills are passed without discussion and debate. Let me give you some examples, right? The largest bill that Modi Sarkar have ever passed have also been passed in the Rajya Sabha without the majority of Bharatiya Janata Party in Rajya Sabha. They have been passed by consensus, they have been passed by discussion, and they have been passed by both the party in power and the opposition coming together. Case in point, Article 370's abrogation. Case in point, triple
Still
talaq.
didn't answer the question. Why have the days been reduced? What is the problem with the days?
Happy to stage
Why
walkouts
have the
and
days been reduced?
That's what I'm trying to say. You
Why
want
do you not
days
want
to
the
be
people
increased
to
because
hear?
continue
Why do you not want the people to know what's happening?
You want days to be increased because it's not about productivity for you. The parliament, even in last session, tabled 14, passed 12 bills.
Okay, Harsh Dahiya wants to come in. Okay, Harsh Dahiya wants to come in. Charu Pragya and Ashwin Kadiyal, you had your say.
Governance in days.
You've had a go at it. Please requesting you. Harsh Dahiya wants to come in. Harsh Dahiya, go ahead.
Krishna, again, my brother is doing the same thing, changing the goalpost every time. So his first question was, why is government not having a debate on SIR? The government has answered that there is a debate happening. Now he says that why the number of days have been reduced. Last year in the winter session, there were 20 days. I want to ask my friend, I want to ask my brother Ashpreet, how many days did Congress allow the parliament to function last year in the winter session? There was complete disruption. There was loss of 90 crore rupees. And now this year, like, if you let the parliament function to its natural form, then there is no problem. You can have a debate on SIR, you can put forward the points. But the problem remains that the Congress doesn't want a debate, because again and again they have to create confusion. The government will give out proper answers. The government will create remove all kinds of confusions from the public's mind. So that's why they're running away from the debate. That's why they're going into this repetitive thing कि आप किस चीज से डर रहे हैं, किस चीज से डर रहे हैं. अरे आप ही बता दीजिए गवर्नमेंट किस चीज से डर रही है, क्योंकि पब्लिक को तो वो डर दिख ही नहीं रहा. आप हवा में बात करे जा रहे हैं.
Let me bring in KV Prasad. KV Prasad, there's a simple question from the government at least, is that we have officially allowed or want to have a discussion on SIR, which is the main concern of the opposition. Then where does the question of how many days, as you said, how many days doesn't really matter. It could be 100 days, it could be less. But how does it matter when the main topics and subjects for debate are being taken up by the government and the parliament?
Well, just for the benefit of our listeners, I would say that all these finalized have been to decide in the Business Advisory Committee of respective houses, where all members of various political parties who are part of the BAC decide for the time and hour. Till such a time, and what is most important in Parliament is the rule under which you're going to take it up. That is the crucial thing. And many a time we have seen the disagreement on rules, and that is where the standoff position comes. For instance, I have never remember in the last 30 years of plus a debate being held under no rule. That was Operation Sindoor. Well, the opposition said, okay, let the government have under no rule. We want a debate, so they agreed for it. So there are always a position where the government takes a position, the parliamentary managers of the government take a position, and the opposition takes a position. Then they look for a meeting ground. But over the last few years, I have noticed the meeting ground has vanished. There is either take it or don't take it. So that's where we see increasing standoffs. And as I told you, what distresses me as a citizen and as a person who has reported parliament, irrespective of which party has been in power or has been governing or is in opposition, continues to take the same course, which is not good for the country. I know budgets have been passed. Shall I tell you something? In the year 2004, in the Rajya Sabha, 17 bills were passed in less than 21 minutes. And I remember having gone to a minister and said, this is not the way a parliament has to function. You cannot push the bills. But I see increasingly those things happening. Why is it happening? I mean, and let me tell you, I speak to a lot of people, both in the opposition and the government. By the opposition, by disrupting the House, is actually doing a disservice because they are not holding the government to accountability. Parliament is the only forum where the government of the day can be held accountable. Why? Because the people elect members of parliament to be our representative, and they in turn hold the government of the day responsible. This is basic civics. But somehow we are very happy doing the disruptions, whatever political gains. As I just mentioned, it was justified by two leaders of opposition who then went on to become the union ministers. I can cite you 3 cases where the then opposition objected to acts which went on to become acts thanks to the opposition much later. The Insurance Amendment Act in the first instance in the year 2000 was objected. Patent Act was objected in the year in the 2000. It became an act only when the opposition, which means the Congress was in opposition, they supported it. The Insurance Act was amended much later, thanks to the opposition supporting it. And now, what are we seeing? The Atomic Energy Act. Now that's coming, and following it will be the another act which is going to come up is the Civil Nuclear Liabilities Damages Act.
Okay.
Who raised the bar? Opposition raised the bar, and today, after 15 years, 10 years, we are revisiting the subject because we realize the opposition did not get its acts together.
Okay.
They raised the bar, but no investments. So this is debate, discussion, clear formulation and policies on the floor of the House.
Fair enough. Let's check with the opposition. Then Ashpreet, you wanted to come in.
Thank you. See, 10 bills have not been examined by the standing committee. And there's one very simple logic. There are 13 bills which are to be passed. And what is better, 20 days for the discussion of 13 bills or 15 days? It is understood. If we'll have 20 days, there would be more time, there would be more accountability. People would be able to know what the bills are all about. There would be deliberation. The banes and the boons will be debated. But the Bharatiya Janata Party does not want that. That is not their priority. So we are asking, what is the reason for the reduction? Is there something more important that needs to be done for the Bharatiya Janata Party? And number three, the government has a habit of listing subjects that have not been conveyed, and they come at the later part of it, at the end of it, and suddenly appear as a subject. So why does the Bharatiya Janata Party oppose accountability? Is what we are asking.
Okay, 10 seconds left on the debate. Charu.
Yeah. So, because Ashpreet is comparing this session to the previous one, do you know how much time of the previous session was lost because of disruptions? 52%. So, Ashpreet, instead of asking for longer and longer sessions of the parliament, maybe you should be saying that disruptions will be lesser and lesser so we can have time for constructive debate where citizens can listen to opinions of both the sides. Both sides.
If you will answer, we not disrupt. But there are no answers.
Because the way you function, forget about 20 days, even 200 days is too less for you.
Ashpreet and Charu, we are completely out of time on this conversation. We can continue doing this. Ashpreet Khadial of the Congress Party, Charu Pragya of the BJP, KV Prasad, senior journalist, Harsh Dahiya, political analyst. Thank you all of you for taking time out to be with us here on News 9.